Get close to that microphone.
Can you hear me? Your Honor, my name is Sarah Miller. I'm an investigator with the Florence County Sheriff's Office. And I was an investigator with the Florence County Sheriff's Office on October 3rd, 2018. So I responded to the Hopkins residence that day after being advised by my partner, investigator Fred Turner, about this case she had in which the suspect, Seth Hopkins, had been raping. And so she wanted to go to that house because Kelly Hopkins had been feeding her pictures of evidence that was allegedly in Seth Hopkins' house. The Hopkins house in Seth's room was dirty underwear of the victim that he collected like trophies. So at that point, I agreed I would be more than happy to go with her because it's our job to protect children and do the best we can. So it wasn't my case, but she's my partner, and what she went through, I went through. So I met with her and Investigator Price at the fire station on Poffmeyer Road while we waited for Chase and Ari to meet us. And while sitting there, Fair was on the phone, which I later found out to be Mrs. Hopkins. She got off the phone and Investigator Turner advised me that she'd be there in 10 to 15 minutes, but it was our concern that those 10 to 15 minutes would give them crucial time to destroy evidence. So we made the decision to go ahead to the house. Fair pulled up first. Investigator Price behind her, unless I got that word wrong, but Chase McDaniel behind Ben, and then I was fourth, and Ari was last. So Ben, Fair, and I were on the porch, like you said, knocking on the door, no answer. Knocking on the door, no answer. Never banging on the door, never once. And I remember making the statement that he probably wasn't going to answer until his wife got there, but unfortunately I was exceedingly wrong in that aspect because he did come to the door and greeted us with gunfire. And the first shot went off, and I thought, this is some weird pain to be this close to a gunshot. So time actually slows down when you get shot. So after realizing exactly what had happened, scrambling off the porch, looking back to figure out where my people went to, watching Farah get shot in the back as she fell down the steps and the smoke coming out of her back. I scrambled beside the house, knowing I couldn't get to her without re-exposing myself. And in that position is where I got to attempt to figure out where I was hit at, because at that point I could smell the blood, smell the gunpowder, and I realized that I was in really bad trouble. So I was far outgunned because, like Investigator Price said, we didn't have rifles. I had a small handgun that had 6 rounds in it. I was exceedingly outgunned in an unsafe spot. So I knew I had to move, and I saw his truck, and I thought to myself, like I said in the stand your ground trial, fuck it, because if I get shot again, I get shot again, but I couldn't stand there and just wait to be executed. So I moved behind the truck, crawled as fast as I could and as low as I could, and there I waited. And I waited, and I heard the sounds of sirens finally coming, but over the sirens were, I couldn't even tell you how many gunshots that day.